Hello, this is Rabbi Michael Weiner with Rabbi's Reflections for Thursday, September 18th, 2025. Shalom. Psalm 36, verses 1, 2, and 3, Part 1. For the music director of David, the servant of Adonai, an oracle of transgression within my heart. To the wicked one, there is no fear of God before his eyes, for he flatters himself in his own eyes too much to notice his iniquity or hate it. Today we begin our meditation of Psalm 36, a psalm labeled by several commentators as difficult to understand. I tend to agree, as it will require some thought to comprehend what is being communicated. Let's start with this. In verse 2, what is an oracle of transgression? Transgression is a type of sin labeled in Hebrew as pesha. This is one of three types of sin that is a manifestation of rebellion. The image of a strong-willed child comes to mind. Our natural tendency is to do things our way. However, experience tells us that God's way is always better. Isaiah 55, verses 8 and 9. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, nor are your ways my ways. It is a declaration of Adonai. For as the heavens are higher than earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. An oracle is a saying that is to be revered. It can be for the good or for the bad. Here, at the beginning of Psalm 36, this is clearly for the bad, as it is labeled an oracle of sinful transgression. David goes on to describe the existence of the wicked one, who does not fear God. What does the Bible say about the fear of the Lord? Actually, a lot. Proverbs 14, verse 27, the fear of Adonai is a fountain of life, turning one from the snares of death. In fact, if we could but fear God alone, we would not need to fear anyone or anything else. However, only the humble are capable of fearing God. Proverbs 22, verse 4, the reward of humility and fear of Adonai is riches, honor, and life. What follows in our subject verse is a perfect description of the prideful person. Psalm 36, verse 3, for he flatters himself in his own eyes, too much to notice his iniquity or hate it. The scripture addresses this delusion, and significantly it is tied to taking communion in a worthy manner. 1 Corinthians 11, 28 and 29. But a man must examine himself, and then let him eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For the one who eats and drinks without recognizing the body eats and drinks judgment on himself. We are hereby commanded to examine ourselves, not according to our humanity, but according to Yeshua's example called the body in our subject verse. Jacob 4, verse 10, humble yourselves in the sight of Adonai, and he shall lift you up. His way is the high way. Shalom, shalom.